Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Hugh Carnahan, the Kaizen Man, and today this video is being shot for two purposes. Number one, we're going to break down why it's so important to make sure that you have the correct realtor as a member of your Core 4. And number two, Mr. Dan here, who is a member of our Core 4, is going to share with you a beginning to end BRRRR transformation, which rocks. Core 4 is your agent, lender, your contractor, and your property manager. Now, the very first component in that is going to be an agent, and you want a real estate investor-friendly agent. The very first cog in the wheel is going to be an agent, and not all agents are created equal. In fact, most, as far as an investor is concerned, are garbage. You want to find someone who is an agent that is an investor-friendly agent, which there are very, very few of. Dan is one of them. Dan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, so my name is Dan Turkel. I'm a real estate investor, and the difference between your standard real estate agent and a real estate investor-friendly agent is that ideally the real estate investor-friendly agent is going to be doing it themselves. They're going to have rental properties, they're going to be involved in renovations, and they know what numbers matter.
Now you might be asking, where do you find an investor-friendly real estate agent? Well, Dan, where did we meet?
BiggerPockets.
We met on the BiggerPockets forum, so there's a link to their website here. But if you can, there's an event tab. Find a real estate meetup in your area, and you will probably find investor-friendly agents. If you don't have one in your area, and you have the pro membership, create an event and you start hosting it. We didn't have any. We're in the middle of nowhere. I started a BiggerPockets meetup, and now it's Pints and Properties, and there's 30 or 40 members. We were able to provide that meeting space and that value simply because of that website.
So these are people who really have the network you'll need to succeed. They have the experience that they can share with you to help you succeed, and they're just going to, have the knowledge to share with you so that you're able to do what you need to do to get where you want to go.
When I knew nothing, it was Dan who introduced me to several property managers, to several contractors in the area. That is, again, experience that I have none of. Just because they're a contractor doesn't mean they're a good contractor for an investor. Just because they are a lender doesn't mean that they're a good lender for an investor. So making sure that you have somebody so that just rocks and invests themselves is probably going to be a better shot at you getting the right person that you need.
Yeah, you want to be working with someone who's doing what you want to do so that they can share that path with you so that you can get there as well.
With that, we'll jump right into Dan's deal.
Let's go. What's up, guys? My name is Dan Turkel, and I'm a real estate investor and agent with Keller Williams out here in Springfield, Missouri. I just finished up renovations on a property a couple days ago, and I'm going to walk you guys through room by room what I did, how I did it, and why I did it. And be sure to stay tuned till the end because I'm going to go into a deep dive for the numbers to explain to y'all how I actually pulled this thing off. Let's go. On the exterior, what I did here is I painted the stone. It used to be kind of like an orange color. Made that gray, threw some black shutters up. Painted these black because they were really rusted. They just weren't looking too good. There was also a pretty big crack over here as well. So we were able to fill that in, paint the whole thing gray, and just go with a nice black, white, and gray color scheme. So check out the inside. All right, so when you first come in, you'll notice that it's a nice big open living space. So we took the wallpaper down, we took the carpet out, and we put luxury vinyl plank throughout the whole property, and we painted all the walls gray, white. In this hallway here, we used to have like a wood paneling, kind of wainscoting going down. We realized we were able to just take that off, and the original sheetrock was just right behind it. In this room, we had the 70s style wood paneling on all of the walls. It wasn't really looking too good, so I thought to myself, I can either pull off this wood paneling, or I can just save a lot of time and money by painting right over it. I'll show you the bathroom over here. We did quite a bit in here. I ripped out the whole vanity, we ripped out all the tiling, and we basically completely redid it. Now, one thing I'll point out is in all of my rentals, I want to have the electric hooked up in the bathroom in a certain way, where in this bathroom there's one switch on the wall, and whenever they turn it on, that vent will come on along with the light. It looked like just a regular bedroom, but believe it or not, this is one of the rooms we did the most work in, because one of the big problems with this property is that there were foundation issues. There was a noticeable slant. If I walked into this room, I'd be going down at a pretty serious angle, and it all kind of dipped into this corner. And now the whole house is level. It's settled a bit since then, which is what we expected. We're pretty much good to go in here. So I've got the new blinds, new light, paint, trim, and flooring. This is the room that we did the least amount of work in. So we just did paint, blinds, flooring, trim, the light. This was definitely in the best shape of the whole house. Beneath all of the original carpet and beneath this vinyl plank is actually the original hardwood floors. So I'm planning on holding this property. If I decide to sell it later on down the road, I might take this vinyl plank up and refinish the wood floor. Just play that by ear. So we'll go in here first. So this is the mudroom, the laundry room. We painted the cabinets, put the new light in. Tenants will be able to put their washer and dryer right over here. We installed, these are new. This was actually a scare. The day after I bought this property, I had my junk removal guys come in here, and I got a call, every landlord's worst nightmare. They said, "Dan, your house is flooding." I'm like, "What did you just say to me?" So I ran over here, and apparently when they were throwing out the old washer and dryer that were here, they broke off one of these, and water was spraying out, and they couldn't stop it, and they couldn't find the main water shutoff valve. Fortunately, we managed to find it, and we got it taken care of, but it's very important to me that these are working correctly now, which they are. Okay. So in here, this was originally a half bathroom, and we decided to take a water heater that was right here, and we moved the water heater to here. Well, we threw the old water heater out, so this is a new water heater. And now we're able to make much, much, much better use of this space. So I like to think of this as being the best shower in the house because it's directly next to the hot water heater. So this is probably where I would shower if I lived in here. So that change alone, I think, is going to enable me to probably bring in maybe $300 or $400 more a month in rent to make it go from a 3.1.5 to a 3.2. It's a pretty significant change, and a lot of the properties I'm comping against are 3.2s. So I really needed to bring it up to that level, and I think that's one of the most strategic upgrades I did in this house. In the kitchen, you'll see that I painted the cabinets, and I personally think it came out real well. You can see throughout, it just has a nice modern feel to it, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the cabinets came out. The counters, I decided to keep. These are just the original Formica countertops. It's gonna be a rental. I'm BRRRRing this property, I'm not flipping it, so I just made a judgment call and said, hey, let's just go and stick with the original Formica. Those are the cabinets. And then you'll see that I put in a new dishwasher, and I also put in a new stove. I did not leave a refrigerator here, and I actually took the garbage disposal out. I very intentionally did those two things. If I have a garbage disposal, chances are tenants are going to call, they're going to say, oh, you know, it's not working, and then it's going to come out of my income to get it fixed. Same with the fridge, so the tenants are going to be expected to provide their own fridge. They're not going to have the garbage disposal, and they'll also bring their own washer and dryer. Now, over, we can walk through the numbers. For this BRRRR, I first bought it, then I renovated it, I rented it out, I refinanced, and then I repeated the process. That is exactly what the BRRRR method entails. So I bought it for $71,000. I renovated it for $35,000, so I was all in $106,000. Okay, acquisition plus rehab. I rented it out for $1,200 a month. And then when it came time to refinance, the appraiser came in, they appraised it for $150,000, and I took a loan out of $108,000. And then I repeated the process. I took a loan out of $108,000, but I was all in at $106,000, right? My acquisition, what it cost to buy the property plus my renovations, that brought me to $106,000. But I was able to pull out $108,000. So that's a difference of $2,000, right? The property appraised for $150,000, but I've got a loan on it for $108,000. So that means that I have $42,000 in equity in this property. And that is really a $42,000 increase in our net worth, which is significant. The third key benefit has to do with the cash on cash return. And you essentially take the annual cash flow before taxes on a property and you divide that by your total cash outlay. In other words, take the profit for a year and divide that by how much you're in the property for. So how much you bought it for plus the renovation costs. The annual cash flow before taxes in a given year was right around $8,700. Okay. Then the total cash outlay, acquisition plus renovation costs, that was right around $106,000. So if I take $8,700, divide it by $106,000, that leaves me with right around an 8% cash on cash return, which is okay, it's nothing crazy. But here's where it gets interesting. I did put a loan on the property. Here's how the numbers change for the cash on cash return. So the annual cash flow before taxes is right around $2,000 a year. It's just straight cash flow. But then we're going to divide that by the cash outlay. Well, it's zero, right? Think about it. I don't have any of our own funds left in the deal. We were able to pull out more than we put in. So there's no basis left in the deal. So the total cash outlay is technically zero after the refinance. So hopefully that gives you guys a better idea of what the BRRRR method is all about.
Was that not incredible, guys? This is exactly why you want someone who knows what they're doing with you in the trenches. An investment-savvy real estate agent. If you are in the area, give Dan a call. His information's on the screen. If you're not in the area, go to those real estate meetups. And now you know what questions to ask and where to find those people. So that way you guys can be better prepared to find someone yourself. Dan, anything else?
Thanks for having me. This has been great.
We'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Woo!